Hey guys, Vic here. I'm going to create a quick video blog post here for you and showing you this really cool plugin that you might want to have for your blog. So I'm in the back office of WordPress admin of one of my blogs here, and you take a look at it, and here's a blog post that I have, and I've got a part one, and I want to create a part two. Okay, and I want to create a lot of the format that I have in part one and carry it over to part two. I don't want to have to do cut and paste and do all that stuff. So I'm looking here at it, and I look at the options as I hover over the blog. You see this down here? So once you hover over the blog, it shows you I can either edit it, quick edit, trash, or view it. So what I want to do right now is I want to go ahead and find a way to clone this or duplicate it. So let's just say I'm not sure. I do know that this is done through plugins. Okay, so if you're not familiar with plugins, when you have a blog, that's what you want. So I'm going to go to add new, and it's going to bring me on over to the plugins back office, and I'm going to search plugins, and I want to be able to duplicate my blog post. So I'll put in duplicate post. Okay, and now what I'm going to find here is I'm going to find a whole slew of posts of plugins that I could install, and it showed me all these free plugins. And look, this one he had 22,000 downloads. This he had 22,000 downloads, 8,700 downloads, 227 downloads. So what I'm going to do is I want to pick a plugin that had a lot of downloads and great reviews, and then I'm just going to double check that it actually does what I want to do. So this here has a lot. It's got 38,000 downloads, and look, it's got a 5-star review. But if this is duplicate menu, easily duplicate your WordPress menus with one click. That's not what I want. I want to duplicate blog posts. So let's go back up to the top, which is my obvious answer, and there's duplicate post. Okay, this got 1.7 million downloads with a 5-star rating. This is delete duplicate post. This is avoid duplicate. So there's a lot of stuff, a lot of things in it. So my suggestion is this: do a search what you want, then look at each one. I can go ahead and look by clicking more details. And as I read the content of this duplicate post, I find that this is exactly what I need. So look at the details, see that it's exactly what you want, and then if it's a competition between one or two other plugins that you may want to use, then you may want to use the number of downloads and the reviews and the number of reviews as the tiebreaker. But this one here, it's a no-brainer. This one stands on its own as far as the most number of downloads and the highest reviews. So you actually see I do have it installed. So what you're going to do is you're going to want to install it. Once you install it, it's going to immediately bring you on over to your installed plugins. And then you'll go through the rest of your plugins until you find, and here it is, duplicate post. So now it's going to, at that point, once you install it, now you've got to activate it, because you can activate and deactivate a plugin as needed. If you're using a plugin, like for instance, I was also using another plugin here that's called Landing Pages. I looked at it, I played with it, and then I decided to deactivate it until maybe I find get some more information on it, or find a replacement, or whatever it happens to be. But the point is, you can deactivate and activate as you need. So I just activated the duplicate post. Now let's go over to my blog post and check it out. When I hover over one of my posts, you'll see that there's a brand new option in there called clone, and there's actually one called new draft. Okay, so there's two new options that you got. So now I'm going to create a part two. So why don't we try this? Let's click on new draft. So it's going to open it up now. Okay, and I could just do, and I'm going to call this part two. I'm going to save draft. I'm not going to publish it. Once I publish it, it's out there. And now let's go look at all posts again. And there it is. It's just sitting there. So it's in draft, and it's part two. Okay, so now it has another feature. Let's look at what the clone does, because I'm actually going to have a part 3 also. So I click on clone and check it out. Okay, so it's still in draft mode. So the difference between new draft and clone is that clone will just bring you right back here to your back office listing of all your posts. And when I do a new draft, it actually brings me into the actual post itself, and I could start editing and doing the work and changing the title as I need it. So either way, it's a great feature, and it's a great plugin to go ahead and have. But again, there's a lot of information on the internet about how the search engines react to duplicate content as far as for search engine optimization, which you want to avoid. But I'm not really going here for SEO purposes here. I'm doing this as a video tutorial course to my large list and sending it out and then syndicating it to social media other ways. Okay, so you also want to go ahead and, be wary of the duplicate content in search engines. You could do a lot of research on that. Okay, so with that, hope that helps, and I'll see you on the next one.